my friend, Honorable Gikaria, and the chair of this committee. Honorable Speaker, the report confirms that the accident occurred. Out of the 25 drums of highly toxic material, 7 of them have not been traced, no accountability as to where they went or who is actually keeping them, or whether they have gone into the hands of people who may not know that this is a very toxic material talking about. Honorable Speaker, I have, in my career as an engineer, I have come across cyanide, salt, or what we call sodium cyanide. It is a very, very toxic material. And anybody coming across it without knowing the danger that it can cause, it is a very serious issue. My point here is that the report received is not complete without telling this House and the country where the 7 drums of this highly toxic material is. The other thing, Mr. Speaker, it is very sad for this nation that we can be in a business of transporting toxic material from Mombasa across this country, not being escorted by security or the NEMA officials. We need to have a transport plan indicating the route such material will pass, where the truck will maybe fuel, and the precautions that people need to take to make sure that this material is in safe hands. It was not the case here. An accident happened, and the public, as you know, they find some things they do not know what they are, and they went and helped themselves with. I agree that there was a lot of mobilization. What they have not indicated that even myself was involved to make sure that we have all the products brought back. We were lucky that 18 of those drums were brought back by the public. It is on record from the report given that there is no substantive regulation on the movement of toxic material. I wonder why NEMA has not looked at this. We know that there is a regulation on movement of radioactive material, like isotopes, that are being used either in hospitals or industry. And it is sad that at this point in our history of this country, that we are still saying they are working on a regulation. We should not allow people to import such material unless we can safeguard their safety, whether they are when on transit or when they are being used. Okay. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I am saddened when the report says that there is a formula that can be used just in case the public, when they come across or they come in touch with this toxic material, that they can get compensation.
MP Folemori, this is a statement. You needed further clarification. You have done it. Allow the chair of the committee to answer you, or rather build up on whatever he has already said. Half a minute. What do you want to say?
Yes, half a minute. Yes. What the statement has given us as safeguards or surety that those people who may be affected by this material, that they will be compensated. It is not clear, because we know the effect of cyanide is long-term. So those 7 drums, if they get in touch with our people and they fall sick later, Mr. Speaker, I don't think the statement has covered that adequately.
Fair enough. You've made a very passionate, in my opinion, informed concern on this, Mr. the Honorable Chair of the Committee. I think you get the gist of what the Honorable MP for Limuru is saying. 1, 7 of those drums have not been accounted for. 2, the effects of this poison as toxic thing is that it can last for ages. So how are you going to account for everybody who has been affected by that? Or if you need more time to really do a serious work on that, then you better tell the chair so that you are given that more time. Proceed, Honorable Chair of the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I totally agree with the Engineer Kiragu on the substantive issues that he has raised. Honorable Speaker, first of all, there is a clarity that I want to make. It is true there were 25, 18 were recovered, but 2 of the drums, the 18 are the ones which the public had taken away, and those ones were 18 out of that, of the 25. 18 were recovered, 2 actually were left on the ground where the accident actually happened. So in totality, we have only 5 drums that cannot be accounted for. But that
Chair, for that kind of poison, for that kind of toxic material, 5 is too much. Those of you who remember your rudimentary chemistry, sodium cyanide. Am I right? Is that what do you call it?
Yeah, sodium
it's sodium cyanide, yeah? Yes. It's a very, very dangerous thing. That 5 can cause damage that essentially can last for the longest and can be very devastating. So give a serious undertaking, and if you don't have that information now, ask for more time.
Honorable Speaker, I totally agree with you, but of course to appreciate the efforts that the security, the team that was there, having recovered 18, you could imagine the situation that would have been. I totally agree also, Honorable Speaker, that as a committee also, we will, though not in my purview or our mandate, maybe the delegated legislation, it is important for this House to pronounce itself on matters to the Attorney General to release the regulations that will start implementation of safety of such kind of hazardous chemical or material. So again, there is a regulation which is sitting at the AG's office. Hopefully, if it finds its way to the delegated legislation committee, then maybe we could, as Parliament, we could be able to fast track and also advise, Honorable Speaker, we are users of this road. And whenever there is some maybe important materials which are being transported, there is always some security guarding the truck that is. It's also important also, maybe through the regulations, this could also be on matters to do with compensation. I totally agree that the formula on how these, in case they land on the wrong hands and the public is affected, there is no formula on how we are going. But, Honorable Speaker, we could go back to we will ask the ministry to be able to give further clarification on some of these issues, which are, and particularly the tracing of the 5 drums that are not were never recovered.
You're giving an undertaking that it's not over, and you will use your office and your committee to seek a further closure to this, which essentially is going to be a closure that is not going to keep Kenyans wondering what's going to happen to the population. That's what I take it to be. Is that in the affirmative?
Most obliged, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. The honorable members, I do know there are a number of members who did ask for statements, and those statements have taken an inordinately long time. Can you do it in half a minute? The MP DK. DK, half a minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Today I was here purposely so that I can receive a statement from the chair of Roads on that particular statement I had tabled in this house. But I'm a bit perturbed after the Honorable Speaker had given clear guidelines that that statement was going to be tabled today. I didn't trace it on the order paper. Neither can I see the
honorable member, it's a point taken. The honorable member for Roads, is he in the house? Is he in the house? Is any member of the committee in the house? Yeah, could you give an undertaking to the Honorable DK that you will have that statement in the next? Please give the mic to Honorable Kiragu.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I will undertake to push for the answer to this one.
Fair enough. And then the MP for Tiati. Half a minute, MP for Tiati. Please give him the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, more than a month ago, I sought a statement which received a lot of support from across the aisle to the Committee on Administration and National Security on the recruitment and qualifications for recruitment of chiefs and assistant chiefs. And Mr. Speaker, since we are proceeding on recess in one day on Thursday, can I ask,
you
Mr.
want
Speaker?
to be given order, Honorable Kamket. You have asked, you did seek a statement. The statement is long overdue. You are seeking when the statement can be ready. Am I right?
Can I request, Mr. Speaker, because this is a matter, Mr. Speaker, that touches on every member here.
Okay.
And this is and the recruitments are continuing. Yeah, this is just a policy matter that the ministry can just make change the policy tomorrow and help so many hustlers in the villages who have been disenfranchised by this policy.
Fair enough. The chair for
That the
administration.
chair responds to that matter tomorrow, Mr. Speaker.
Order on chair for administration and internal security. Where is the chair for administration and internal security? I thought he was in the house. Is there any member of that committee in the house now? Order, the chair does not have the business of looking for MPs somewhere behind. The chair, you have to give an undertaking on how soon, and it has to be very soon. Order, Honorable Letiati. Honorable Kamket. Order. Give us an undertaking on the statement sought by the Honorable Kamket.
Tomorrow in the afternoon.
Tomorrow in the afternoon. Fair enough. Done deal. The MP for Igembe Central. You did ask this, seek this statement from administration and internal security. Did you have that statement today ready? The one for the honorable member for Igembe Central.
I do. It's only that he was not in the house.
You issue that statement tomorrow along with the other one.
I will.
The chair has given him the leeway for it.
And I hope you should
Fair
tell
enough.
him to be in the house.
Next order. Next order. Oh, just a moment. Sorry. Yeah, the MP, Honorable, yes, proceed. What's your order, Honorable Osoro?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On 24th of April, I also sought a statement to the Departmental Committee of Communication, Information and Innovation, chaired by Honorable Kiarie. But since April, Honorable Speaker,
Do we have a member of the Information Committee here? Is Honorable Kiarie here? Order, Honorable members.
Something that, as a committee, of course, was a big disappointment. And after that exchange, Mr. Speaker, the same governor's team, I presume, went ahead to put some of the members of the committee on social media, claiming that the senator of Isiolo was just attacking the governor, and we seemed to be condemning that. An issue that shocked us as members because we do not participate in such matters. And so, through you, Speaker, it would be prudent for the governor to appear before this House to be able to answer, because it seems that all the committees, he has chosen not to appear. So the best solution, even before he appears to other committees, it should be for him to appear before this House and be able to answer to the question of why he has decided to disrespect this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kithuku, do you want to contribute to the allegations made at Isiolo County or the next motion?
This one, Faisal. Thank you very much, Honorable
And
Speaker.
Senator Mogeni, do you want to contribute to the allegations? Or is it the next motion? Okay, just one moment. Kithuku, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to congratulate the Senator for Isiolo for bringing this very important matter before this House, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to join also the Honorable Senators, my colleagues, in condemning the act done by the Isiolo Senator, who have decided not to be appearing before the different committees that he has been invited severally, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this House is mandated by the Constitution to take care of the devolution and its government. Honorable Speaker, it is absurd to see to it that the Honorable Governor have decided to deliberately not to appear to these committees that he has been summoned to appear so that, Honorable Speaker, he can answer to issues that are affecting the people of Isiolo. Honorable Speaker, I sometimes even fail to understand what is this that the governor is thinking, because the moment now you start to avoid the senators who are mandated by the Constitution to take care of the devolution, then it shows that, Honorable Speaker, that governor is not even aware of what he's doing. Honorable Speaker, I would wish that this House take very serious measures against this governor, because now, Honorable Speaker, the moment now we allow this, other governors who have the same attitude like him, Honorable Speaker, will one day also try to avoid the invitation by the senator. So, Honorable Speaker, I am of the opinion that this House take a very serious measure and discipline this governor who have deliberately decided not to be appearing before various committees of this House, Honorable Speaker. I sit in the Committee of Cohesion. I am a witness that we have been inviting this governor to appear, but he has deliberately refused to appear to answer to issues that are affecting the people of Isiolo, Honorable Speaker. I therefore support and urge this House, Honorable Speaker, to see to it that this governor serves as an example to other governors who has the same attitude like him. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Eric Mugeni.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, we are facing a very bad crisis. That a Senate of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, is this afternoon discussing a conduct of a governor who has refused to respond to summons issued by the Senate. Mr. Speaker, even in the most advanced democracies, you can never, Senator of Isiolo, refuse to respond to summons of a House, more so a Senate. If you look at history, Mr. Speaker, you know what brought down President Richard Nixon. He was given summons by the Senate that was looking into his impeachment. The Senate ordered him to produce tapes that had some information on the Watergate scandal. He refused. He went to court. He waived immunity. The court sided with the Senate and directed President Richard Nixon to tender those tapes to the Senate. And it's the incriminating evidence that was in those tapes that made Richard Nixon to resign. So if a president of a superpower like United States of America can respect summons issued by an equivalent House, Senate of the US, what about this guy called Governor Guyo? I mean, we must rain down on this character. Mr. Speaker, we cannot accept the power, the authority of this House to be whittled down. We cannot accept. Senator Cheragay is a lawyer, you know it. In fact, if you read the American Constitution, they don't have the kind of powers that we have as the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. The Constitution does not mention that the Senate of the US is like a high court, like the way ours mentions. So if need be, this is a guy that should be arrested and be brought here by none other than the commissioner. Because, Mr. Speaker, when you summon a governor, it's not a play game. You want to see some documents, the information you want to see, their records. How then can we be said to be a body that can oversight counties if we cannot have the privilege of asking for documents and they are brought to us, Mr. Speaker? I'm speaking with a lot of pain, Mr. Speaker, because this should not happen in a democracy, more so with a very progressive constitution like the one we have. I hope we are going to go a little bit further and even summon the Commissioner of Police to appear here and tell us why he cannot arrest this governor and bring him before this House. We must show, Mr. Speaker, that we have teeth. We are not a toothless bulldog. We must demonstrate to the governors, more so this Governor Guyo, Governor of Isiolo, that this House has got teeth and the powers we have are powers equivalent to the High Court. Mr. Speaker, if I get summons from the High Court, I will even skip the session tomorrow. If I'm summoned to appear before the High Court tomorrow, I'll go running. And that's what happens in the US. When you receive subpoenas in the US, you stop everything and respond first to the Senate. In fact, it's worse not to go than even receiving summons. So I support, Mr. Speaker, that we need to do something, and I really support the passion with which the senator of Isiolo has fought to ensure that there is transparency, that she also does a role of oversight effectively against a governor who thinks that is law unto himself. I support Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senators. We proceed to the next order. Clerk.
Order number 11, motion consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bills, and number 19 of 2024. Resumption of debate.
Resumption of debate. Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity. I want to support the Finance and Budget Committee for this report, and I agree with them that they should reject the amendments from the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, I always get impressed by our Committee on Finance and Budget, and I can see a number of members are in the House. Mr. Speaker, I think this is authority. The last time they were supposed, Mr. Speaker, to cut down the money from 380 billion to 41 billion, they brought us a rejection that the county should get 41 billion, Mr. Speaker. So I support the Finance and Budget Committee that the amendments that were done by National Assembly is not in good faith. If National Assembly had good faith, they should have cut their own CDF money, because CDF as it is unconstitutional, is illegal, and it has been ruled even by the Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker. In fact, it is in my constitutional amendment of 2024 that I'm trying, Mr. Speaker, to salvage the hanging on of the CDF allocation under the budget, Mr. Speaker. In fact, the amendment of this, the upshot of this, Mr. Speaker, is in Article 202 of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, where in this point you are trying to additional funds to counties, apart from equity